Hi, I'm Stacy.
And I am Mark, and this is the Gurus and Game Changers podcast.
Welcome, Mark.
Hey.
I am so excited today.
Yeah.
So excited. Welcome, Gurus. Welcome, Game Changers. Because today I have a dear friend and a nourishment guide and embodiment coach, Antanas and I. Did I say that right?
Pretty much.
Welcome. Pretty much. Wait, say it again. Say it the right way.
Vainus. Antanas Vainus.
Antanas and I.
I can give you a phonetic spelling.
And that's Greek, right?
No, it's Lithuanian.
It's Lithuanian. Okay. So tell me about how food's impacted you as you've grown up. Like, 'cause I know you've used it for help with you when you've been sick and not feeling well. And
Yeah,
like,
you know.
where did it start where you really were
just-
like, listen, I'm going to use this food as my medicine?
Without Western medicine, I would not be sitting here. Western medicine saved my ass.
Yeah, you're in the hospital, I think you said, for 97 days and then
And
and then another 35.
35, which happened
Why were you in the hospital?
Because I had a fungal infection of my spine juice and
Jesus.
my brain. Yeah, it was. And, you know, so they pumped me pumped me with all kinds of antibiotics.
Which you don't love.
And antivirals. And, you know, but like, again, I had incredible support.
Yeah.
My parents were bringing me food, so I didn't have to really eat the hospital food.
That's great.
You know, because you don't know where the hell that comes
Yeah,
from.
no, for you're
just
not going to
like-
want to eat hospital food. Yeah.
So, you know, like food has been, like there's that phrase, let food be your medicine. Like that's kind of how I've lived.
Yeah.
You know, like connected to the earth. So you said you mentioned that I was in the hospital for 97 days, which is when you came to visit me.
Yes.
And then recently for 35 days, which is like a lot of hospital time.
A lot of hospital time.
It's a lot of hospital time.
So what was it
So
that you needed and why?
Well, these nuclear level pharmaceuticals, like chemo level type drugs, they were put into my body so that
You would live.
I would live. And like actually they were serving my body to like kill the stuff that's not about supporting life, while I feel like my spirit was like figuring out what it was meant to do.
Wow. So what were you diagnosed with when you were in the hospital?
Cryptococcal meningitis.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, it was nasty. And then I had no immune system.
Right, because you have
The meningitis got...
the meningitis did it, or was it from
Well, actually, the meningitis was the result
your
of not
pre-existing
having...
condition?
Yeah, like the HIV
Yeah.
was something that I dealt with
Right.
and or was dealing with.
How many years before you had the meningitis did you know that you had was it AIDS or was it HIV?
It was HIV.
Yeah.
So when I got to the hospital, they took my T cells, which is the indicator.
Right.
So I had 24,
Whoa.
which is not very much.
How many are you supposed to have? Do you know?
Between 400
Yeah,
and like
24. Antanas.
1,500. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that is so scary.
Yeah. Well, it definitely.
Yeah. So then you took the medicine at that point.
No, they had
Oh.
to wait until my immune system started reconstituting, because if you start too early, you can actually get really sick and die.
Ugh.
And that's kind of what they were scaring me with. And I'm like, it's called IRIS. It's like immune reconstitution something syndrome.
So they pumped you full of medications that helped you get your immune system to a certain level in order to be able to take the other meds.
Exactly. It's not straightforward. It's
Yeah.
really quite
Yeah.
a complex process. And, you know, like the team at Jefferson, they have been incredible. They have been so
I mean, I saw you in that hospital bed and it was scary.
Yeah.
It was scary. But you look so fantastic now.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So-
Yeah, I mean, I feel great. I feel good. I mean, I feel like I'm still recovering.
Yeah. It's still
You know,
going to
like
take a minute. You lost a ton of weight.
I did. I was like 130 something pounds.
And you're like, what, 6'3"?
6'2".
6'2"?
And I'm gaining weight.
You look
great.
awesome.
Thanks.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
very resilient.
Yeah.
I'm really resilient.
Yes.
I'm really, really.
You faced a lot, and you're coming back.
Yeah, and I'm coming back. You know, so that in a way, like, I feel like my life is a game-changing life.
Yeah, it is a game-changing life.
Because most people would be like, I can't do this. Not
yeah.
only once, but twice.
Oh my God.
What kept you going mentally?
I feel like I'm here to do big things. And I got a confirmation from the woman. I was calling Deborah to get Robin's number. And so when I found Robin, I went to see her. I think I saw her like 8 times. And she's like, I don't say this, but you got some big shit to do. And I was like,
No pressure.
thank you.
Yeah.
Do you know what that is?
Yeah. What is it?
Have you wrapped your head around what
I think
it is?
it's around nourishment and embodiment.
Yeah.
About nourishment, embodiment, and pleasure. To invite people, like, we're not in hell.
Mm-hmm.
Life is not about suffering. Life is about pleasure and connection and intimacy and closeness and support.
I'm going to let you explain what you mean by nourishment guide and embodiment coach.
Well, we don't have enough time.
Well, let's try and do it in like 45 seconds.
Okay, great. So there's, to step back, there's food, there's raw ingredients, and then there's nourishment. And there's a process between each one. Like, there really isn't much food out there. Like, you very gently and sort of sheepishly were like, you don't want to look at my snacks. Because
I know you.
that it's not food. We know that it's not food.
Yes.
It collides with our body's natural abilities.
So,
to
audience, I showed Antanas my snack. the
studio.
snack bars here in the studio. It is
Processed.
Pringles and
It is processed. It's
protein
processed. It is
bars
processed. In plastic.
and
Yeah.
Skittles and all these things. And Antanas, what is your thought? That's not nourishment, right?
It's lovely.
Yes.
It's very beautiful to look at. In fact, I might make a bracelet out of the Skittles.
That's
Because they'll be very colorful.
they're good at it.
Better on your body than in your body, is what
Yeah.
you're saying.
And so there's the raw ingredients, and then the process of going from raw ingredients to nourishment. There are these timeless steps of properly preparing your food. For example, all seeds, nuts, grains, legumes, they all need to be soaked, including like wheat grain, like the monocot grains, which are like wheat, spelt, einkorn, rye, barley. And the thing is, most people, we're all allergic to gluten.
Really?
We're all allergic, like we all have some kind of
Or
sensitivity
intolerance, yeah.
because gluten, digestion is all about making big things small so that they can fit in our cells. And these proper food preparation principles, I call them PPPs, they prepare everything for our body. So like, and each, soaking time is different.
It's funny because it sounds like to move from food to nourishment is a lot of work, right? A lot of work, a lot of time. So at what point did you move from food from understanding food as just something to put in your body to,
Oh, that's a good question.
I'm going to nourish myself and I'm going to help nourish others?
I want to step back a little bit.
Yeah.
You're saying it's a lot of time.
Yeah.
It actually isn't a lot of time. It really, really
It's preparation.
isn't. It's preparation.
It's definitely preparation.
You just have to have like the bird's eye view and be like, okay, tomorrow I'm going to want pancakes or oatmeal.
Right? It's forethought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like you soak the oatmeal, steel cut, in water, lemon juice, whey, or raw apple cider vinegar. And that starts to break down the grain.
To help you digest this food. So
Exactly.
you sprout it so you can help digest the food.
Exactly.
But back to Mark's question, which is going to be my next question. So growing up, like, what was your relationship with food, and how did you get to this like level of knowledge?
place,
Is it
yeah.
your dad who's sitting there, who helped you get there, or what?
I grew up Lithuanian. My grandmother, Baba, my dad's mother, in the basement of the house in Queens, New York. And, you know, like I was barely high enough to like see into the stove. And she had one of these like little stoves with 4 burners and an oven. And like she was cooking stuff. And I was just fascinated. Like the fascination with food started way earlier. I think I've been destined to like make food during this incarnation. You know, in Nourish, when you are connected, then you know what you're drawn to eat. Because there's wisdom constantly coming through your body.
But if you were auditing, say, my diet, right?
Oh, God.
And you were to say, all right, Mark, number 1, where's your food coming from? All right, I would have to answer that question. Wegmans.
Or Whole Foods,
or
maybe.
off of a menu. That's
Yeah.
where my food's coming
Yeah.
from. What else are you going to look at for me and say, all right,
Well-
here's what we need to do.
Great
We need to know
we would
this,
start,
this.
like when I start working with somebody,
Yeah.
I give them a 5-day food diary.
They start
And
tracking.
you write down what you have for breakfast, snacks, lunch, snacks, dinner, snacks. And then I take a look, and then we're like, and the thing is, it's not about changing anything that you're doing. It's just about tweaking little things like, you know, instead of getting meat from Wegmans has some good meat. You go to the farmer's market. Like it's baby steps, it's incremental steps. And each incremental step can be so much fun, which is why I do food safaris. Because I take people on an adventure, you know, because food out there, like it's kind of like a jungle. You don't know, like you could eat something and it could make you really sick. Or you could eat something and it would make you not just well, but like healthy. It enhance your health.
Are there 3 foods you can think of like right now that cure you, that you should have, every single person should have in their fridge?
Good question.
You know, it's so hard to make these blanket, like
I know you don't like that, but just,
well, because it's not accurate. It's really not
so
accurate.
there's not 3 foods. So every person is different.
Well, I'd say water.
Okay. But good water.
Good water, the best water that you can find. I have some gadgets that enhance, like this water that I drink. I actually travel with this device. You know, like being not well,
Right.
I was looking for all these ways to optimize what I put in my body because I know like the quality of the stuff that I put in my body determines the growth and the outpicturing of my body. So there's this device that looks like an egg.
So water's 1.
Water's one.
And then 2 is
Salt,
okay.
Salt for minerals.
Salt. You have to have salt.
like mineral-rich salt, not just the white stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Because the white stuff is used to kill
What's
slugs.
the name of the one we got together? I think it was like
There's Himalayan
okay,
salt.
Himalayan pink salt.
There's also Celtic salt.
Celtic. That's the one we got.
Yeah.
Yeah, on our little safari.
And you get on.
You went on safari?
We went on safari. Yeah,
It's
a
so
while
much
ago. I
fun.
need to go back. I need to do it
So
again.
much fun.
I need to do it again.
So much. You know, and when I go back into the stores, I'm really heartened by how, like, people are
Yeah,
waking up.
it's
They're
happening.
like, we don't want to eat crap.
Yeah.
We care about our bodies, and you provide food.
It's definitely better.
Yeah. So like, I feel inspired that like we're going in a good direction.
People are scared of salt. So like, how much salt do you want to put on food? Like,
As much as you want.
and the thing is too, like when I went on the safari with Antanas, he didn't shame me. Like
No.
I'd be like, here's
Yeah.
what I have, and you're like, oh well, I get that. You know, but how about
However.
this? How about this?
Right.
So salt's fine. You can put as much as you want. It's not going to spike your blood pressure. It's not going to.
Well, the white crap does.
Oh, okay.
It's when you have the salt that has all the buffering minerals.
Mineral. So water, salt, and what's the third one? Is it fat?
Yeah,
Because that's what
fat's-
shocked me. Like,
fat's a
so
really-
Antanas, when I first met him, would take a spoonful of butter
Yeah.
and eat it, like raw butter, and eat it. And we were all like, oh my gosh. Because, of course, I grew up with years and years of like,
Sure.
no fat. You know,
Right.
get rid of the fat, like, you know, cut things
Bad
down. Like,
cholesterol,
yeah.
yep.
And
It's
like,
all- it's all
you
wrong.
were like, no, you have to have
Yeah.
fat in your
Right.
system.
Our
So-
cell membranes, they're all made of fat.
Right.
So if you eat crappy fat, your body will convert the bad fat into workable raw materials to build cell walls. Or not cell walls, like plants have cell walls, we have cell membranes. I want to provide people a good experience around eating. Because every time you sit down, you can either celebrate or you can curse.
Right.
And I'm like, cursing is not on the menu.
Yeah.
It's so not on the menu.
Yeah.
Because you gotta be in love with
Right.
what you're putting in your body, because your body is a vessel of love.
Do you understand that? Like, it's kind of, I think for some people, they might look at it skeptically, but the fact is, if you can go through this process like the way you're doing it, food is digested better. Like, I've never been in better shape than when I was following your plan. Like, I felt better.
That's
and
exciting.
Then juicing. Juicing is good because
it's a concentrated infusion of nutrients, and it's really important. Like, if you can't afford organic, then just get whatever you got. But ideally, you get organic. And green juice is a great baseline. So, like, cucumbers, celery. If you don't have sunflower sprouts, parsley, some cilantro, lemon. And if that's a little too intense, you do an apple.
right.
Just do an apple to sweeten it up.
Did I ever tell you the story how I was juicing apples and I was juicing them with the seeds? Do you know what is in an apple seed?
Mm-hmm.
Cyanide.
Laetrile.
Whatever it is. I was doing it too often. And I, one point, was having trouble walking up the stairs. And I'm like, what
Wow.
is wrong with me? And then I did research on the fact that I was eating too many of those apple seeds. And it was literally, they were poisoning
They
me.
were poisoning you.
Wow.
Is that crazy? We have the three foods that would, or three-ish foods. There's a lot more
Salt
that can help
and
us.
water.
Salt,
Yeah,
water,
like you want everything. You want to
Fats.
include, just like the rainbow, you want to eat.
everything, all the color. I remember you telling me
macronutrients.
too, like your plate should have all the colors on it. Like the more colorful your plate is, the more healthy it is for you.
Yeah, or
Yeah.
the more appropriate it is.
More appropriate.
But then there could be a period of time where you're just eating bananas.
Yeah, and that's okay.
That's okay.
How about just peanut butter every day, all day?
Yeah, probably not.
As long as it doesn't have like the hydrogenated weird oils.
Oh,
Probably
true, Jif.
So
Damn
like,
it.
okay, the fat.
Jif, is that what you said?
Jif.
Ah, damn it,
Throw,
Jif.
throw your Jif out, and your Skippy, and you need to buy the raw
the
nuts that
organic.
you
Yeah.
chop up.
Yeah, you like soak them, and that gets rid of the enzyme inhibitors, which are
It's
the
too much work.
things.
That's what I keep.
No. You just buy the stuff.
Okay.
You just buy the stuff.
Again,
can buy
food
it.
is utility to me, so it's hard for me to.
But see,
I
that's
want nourishment
that's a really,
and I eat
really
well.
good point, though, because
Yeah.
that's what people are going to be thinking.
Yeah.
This is too much work for me. So how do we get
If you
them
have
to,
money-
to switch it up?
If you have money, just buy the better product.
Are there other things to avoid? So obviously
Yeah.
processed foods, things like almond oil. What other is in your
All
hall
the-
of shame? If
all
you
the
will?
Hall of shame.
all the fake sweeteners.
Okay, yeah,
aspartame.
I'm with you 100%.
Yeah, they just had that thing
Sucralose.
on
They
it.
just
All of
melt.
that.
It melts your brain cells.
Yeah.
It melts your brain
And causes
cells.
cancer.
And causes cancer, carcinogen.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then there's sucralose, which is like
Yep.
sugar and bleach, which is, like.
They're
I don't
really
know.
bad for you.
Do you do
All of
that?
it, yeah. Huh?
Do you do those?
No. Oh, no. I don't do any
Great. So you're on your
artificial.
way.
I don't do any
so,
artificial.
So,
yeah.
like, you
I'm more
have an
likely
awareness.
to grab a sugar-based
Right.
something than an artificial.
Right.
I've
Like-
been known to
sweetener-based
grab some
something.
sweet and low.
Nope.
Please.
I know.
please
Don't,
like that'll make
I think
your
about you.
brain
So real
melt.
sugar. So if you're having coffee,
Yeah.
put real sugar in
Real
there.
sugar.
Yeah, or honey.
Don't
raw
worry
honey.
about it.
Manage
Raw
the
honey.
volume, but definitely use the real stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're sold. a
Oh,
couple things.
eggs.
Eggs.
Stay
Eggs are
away
bad,
from?
bad for you?
No, they're
Oh.
good.
Okay,
gonna
good.
say.
Especially if you
Do
get
a
like
lot of eggs.
pastured eggs. Like,
Yeah.
you want the egg yolk to be somewhere between that yellow and that orange on your microphone.
On your microphone.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Because again, there's the principle of the rainbow.
Okay.
Like, you want as much color as you can in your food, because those colors, they
M&Ms.
No, not Skittles, not
Skittles
M&Ms.
or M&Ms.
No.
it has
Stop.
to be natural color. So it can be
Natural
like
color.
Natural. We're
papaya, it can
Red
be
dye
cherries, it can be dragon fruit, it can be mangoes, it can be anything that's
I like this. We're getting a blueprint.
This is what I'm saying.
As much color in your diet. Obviously, stay away from processed
Yeah,
foods.
yep.
Where does your food come from?
Organic,
Right? Just base organic.
farm to table,
Yeah, this like
Basic
ends
stuff.
up,
It's
sprout
right,
things.
basic stuff.
it
Sprout
ends up
things.
You should be
being
asking yourself.
fairly easy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's fairly
You know,
easy.
so like once you get
It's preparation,
Mm-hmm.
and then you're gold.
right, and then like the thing is, it's about getting the download, and that's why when I work with people, I kind of insist that we work for at least 3 months, 3 to 4 months, because that way I get the transmission, and by the end they're like, oh my God, I know exactly what to do. Like I'll give them like a chef show. Like I'll give them 3 ingredients and be like,
Go
come
get
up
it.
with something.
What do you want your legacy to be? So when you do leave this earth, thank God, not yet, what do you want people to think about Antanas and his mark on the world? Because I know you're saying you want to, big things are going to come from you. Well, I know it's kind of a big question, and we didn't tell you before that it was coming, but what do you want your legacy to be, and what do you want people to think about Antanas?
You know, like having the privilege of not having children, I have all this time to devote to studies, and this sort of pushes the edge. This like really pushes the edge. There's this notion, you know, like we're supposedly eternally alive, but the thing that I'm exploring, and like the fact that I've made it from death's door twice, it's like perhaps it's true, and this notion of physical immortality, and that is kind of hard to digest for people. So instead of saying physical immortality, I say living at choice. Like living at choice. Like I'm always choosing my experience.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and ultimately empowering other people to believe that they can. You know, they're not subject to some kind of tyrant or some kind of bully or some kind of PTSD or CPTSD from their past. You know, it's about, so the embodiment is about clearing the past so they can be present and so they can engage in this we-space dialogue.
So you want your legacy to be that people learn through you that they can create their reality every day and live their life every day. Is that
Kind of
fair?
ultimate, and enjoy it.
And enjoy their life.
And enjoy, like find, you know,
Nourish
like
their
to
body,
create,
nourish their soul.
to create a system where people can get nourished.
Right.
Like having communities where nourishment is foundational. Like we got animals, we got
Wouldn't that be nice?
fields, we got food, and then we got community.
Like a commune.
A
Come
commune.
back in time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know, like communes have such a bad rap.
I know, but
It's
we
like-
can change that.
We can totally change that.
You can change that.
Yeah. Yes.
Maybe that's your big thing.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Right? Bring back
Well,
the
I mean, I
commune
kind of wanted
in modern day America.
the thing that I was really interested in creating was called the Pleasure Monastery, where you're guided by pleasure.
It's got a good title.
But not hedonistic.
No, there's a difference. There's a huge difference.
Is it more contentment? Because pleasure, I think people are going to look at
Like
and be like
happiness.
sex or like,
Yeah, I mean, I think that's part of the poisoning.
yeah,
You know, pleasure is like looking at a flower,
right,
seeing a sunset,
right.
sniffing a blossom. Like
Right,
we've
Little
the
things.
sex has been so suppressed
right.
that it's sort of like seeps in everywhere. And so like I look at a flower and all I see is sex. You know, it's like, come on.
Yeah, yeah.
Just
Flowers.
honor the flower for being a flower.
Right,
You don't
right.
have to like put a vagina or a penis on the flower. You know,
We went there. We went there, and I like it, and I'm glad it happened.
great. And the thing is,
Sorry.
yeah, I mean, we could have like,
Oh, this could go on for a minute.
we could
but,
have,
but I
Game
really,
changers after dark.
but I really,
Yeah.
I really want to find out from you, for our listeners who are going to go crazy over this, bananas, because
bananas.
they want bananas, organic bananas
Organic with lots of speckles.
with speckles. You like the speckles?
speckles. Because that
wait,
means,
one more thing that reminds me of Antanas. When I have rotten fruit in my
Yeah.
fruit bowl, I remember Antanas saying to me, I was like, "Ah, crap, Antanas, like all this fresh fruit I just bought has like, it's all rotted." And he's like, "Good." Right? You're like, "Good. I'm glad that the fruit is rotted because that means it started the digestion process already for you.
Right.
So you should eat it.
So you can eat it now, and it's
Right.
going to actually come into your body in a better form. And I was like, what? Really?
Interesting
It
perspective.
blew
Yeah.
my kids' minds too.
Right.
But anyway, so I want you to be able to tell the world how to get in touch with you, what you're willing to do for either the individual or whatever.
Yeah. What
Great.
can you do?
Group.
So my website is called relationalnutrition.com.
Okay.
Got it.
And that illustrates this notion that like we want to relate to everything. We want to relate to our food. We want to make it speak the language our body understands. And on that website, there's a bunch of pictures, and at the bottom of the homepage, there is like how to work with me.
Okay.
There's the option of doing a discovery call.
We're going to put this website in the description
Yeah,
too.
yeah, like a free 20-minute discovery call where I talk to them and we figure out like if we're a good match.
Perfect.
And then my sort of showcase, big thing that I love doing is called a Nourishment immersion. And that it's experiential learning. So like it's not about theoretical stuff, it's about doing it in your body.
Mhm.
And the way that's arranged is like there are a bunch of altars or stations. And at every single station, that's where a principle of nourishment is presented. So we start with water, and then salt, and then go to bone broth, and then go to juicing, then go to sprouting, then go to fermenting, then there's also the snack altar, which everybody contributes to making. So people are invited to start playing
that sounds fun.
with us. And so like all those snacks,
Yeah.
they would be welcome at the snack
Oh
altar.
my gosh.
Yeah. Yeah. Like Twinkies.
That's another thing that everyone needs to understand. Like Antanas is he's very smart, but he's really fun.
Yeah.
Like he's really, really fun to hang. Like you'll laugh a lot. You'll talk about philosophical things that you
Right.
never thought you'd talk about before.
Right.
You learn and you get healthy.
Yeah.
Like who would be without it?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean I love that you see that.
Of
Like I love that
course.
you get that. And
You like to play,
I like to play.
and you'll say that.
like
yeah.
I started playing
of the
when I
pleasure.
was
Yeah.
Yeah, the pleasure. I started playing when I was making those damn sand pancakes
Yeah.
in my
Way, way
grandmother's. Yeah, like way
Yeah.
back.
Well, this has been
been a
awesome.
theme.
I don't even want to say goodbye.
This
Well
is
then,
great.
just don't say goodbye. So long for now.
So long.
So long.
Ta ta.
Thank you.
Love
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much
Yeah.
for coming on.
Yeah.
Mucho love.